everyone. It is Shay in Silver Lake, and I would just like to let you guys know there's a lot of people named Shay. I ran into, let's see, that is the 5th Shay that I have met that lived in Silver Lake. The 5th. I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's a crazy thing. Okay, anyway, wait, let's start over. Sorry, my ADHD got me. It is January 10th, 2026. It's Saturday. It is 36 degrees and it is 4:45, probably 46 or 7 by now. So I kind of missed the sunset because I had gone to La Pine to do a little bit of shopping because don't know what the weather can be iffy, and I got to do a couple things over in Christmas Valley. So I wanted to do my La Pine stuff like as soon as possible. That way I can just sit it out and not have to worry about it. So that is the deal on that. It's 36 degrees, but it feels more like 40. Like it's not like overly cold or anything. There is a slight breeze, but it's so minimal you can't even tell. You know? But look at them clouds. Like, isn't that interesting how different clouds are, like, daily? Like, I don't even ever really remember paintings that have that line. Ooh. Now, over there. Now, that's a cloud with the sun. Look at that. Oh, there's a jet stream to top it off. Anyway, we had a meeting today about our library because our library, they had to close our library because there was a septic problem and they can't fix it. They don't own the building, it belongs to somebody else, and then find out that there's like some property issues, and then on top of it, they don't have an easement for a driveway anymore. Like, it's just a bunch of things that are all problems, and we had to close the library down a few months ago, and we've been looking for a building out here somewhere that somebody will donate. Not necessarily donate the building. Well, like basically let our library use it for rent free. Like they'll pay the electricity, but we just can't afford the rent for a library, and we really need a library out here. We depend on it, and you wouldn't think that there's not that many people here, what's a library, but it does make a difference, Internet's not always great out here, number one. Number two, it's a bit of a hike for some people, to be able to try to go to another town to be able to get library books and to return them. It was the only place that we could make copies, and yeah, we could buy a printer and make our own copies at home, but not everybody can do that. And then first, that not everybody can afford the printers and all the stuff. And secondly, not everybody, some people are older, and it's, they might only necessarily need it once in a great while. So it's just not feasible to waste their money on something that they're only going to use once in a great while. Books, DVDs are super important out here because, again, internet is not necessarily always reliable. We do get quite a bit of snow, so sometimes you can't leave. Nobody wants to buy like a ton of books. We all, like those of us bookworms, we have enough books and we've read all those, but we want to read more, but we don't have space to own those. So what we need is like books that we can trade, or books that, and you know, we do, it's just, there's like a lot of things. Also the hot spots. Some people can't afford an internet at all. I personally do not have internet other than on my phone. I don't have cable TV or internet TV or whatever it is, that stuff. I don't have that. I just don't watch TV. Like, I rent, or not rent. Well, I used to rent back when renting days were rentable. But I usually buy used DVDs like at thrift store or Habitat for Humanity or places like that, or sometimes brand new. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll go over to Walmart and pick up a DVD or two. But it's usually a movie that I've already seen or know about or whatever. And so I'm, you know, really selective. Most of them are Westerns. I like the old Westerns. And then, basically that's it. So they need that. It's also a place for us to have a community bulletin board so that we can be able to stay in touch with each other, or, you know, post something that we might be able to, that we're selling or trading or giving away for free. Like it's a place, we need it for meetings so that we can do town meetings and that kind of stuff. There's like a variety of things that we rely on when we have the library. And already our library was already only open on Mondays. So we're trying to find a building or get a piece of land and maybe put a tiny home on it, because it has to have a bathroom. It has to be handicapped accessible. And it has to have septic and water. So it has to have all those things, you know, and then of course it needs to be, you know, not like, see, like this house, yeah, it would need a whole new roof, a new porch. I don't think he'd donate it anyway, the use of it, but this would take too much to fix. It would just be too much to fix this one, I think. But anyway, it's not even ours. So, like, we've looked around town. We've looked at different things. So we had a meeting today to lay out our needs, our 100% needs. And believe it or not, 25 people showed up, and there's only maybe 60 people in town that actually, maybe more than that, maybe 100, maybe we're up to 100, because we've had quite a few move in. We've had quite a few move out too. I don't know. I want to dream that it's 100. Let's dream that it's 100. Look how pretty that pink is up above those mountains over there. So let's pretend that there's 100 in town. And when there's a couple hundred, like out on ranches in the surrounding area, and then when you get over to Christmas Valley, there's a lot more people over there, and they do have a library, but their library too is super tiny, super small. They barely have room for what they have. And yes, we can order things from other libraries in our surrounding counties and stuff, but we have to wait for it, and then we have to drive to Christmas Valley to get it. Just from my house to Christmas Valley is 32 miles, and then it's 32 miles back. So 64 miles to go to the library and back. And I mean, it's 50 miles to La Pine, you know, 90 miles to 90 miles to Bend, and it's like 75, 80 miles to Klamath Falls. But the whole point is to be able to not be traveling. Ooh, look how pretty that's getting. Ooh, let's walk over there. The whole point is to have it closer to home. You know, plus it gives us it's another open opportunity to socialize. A lot of people out here don't do a lot of socializing. So in order to like find out what's going on in the area, They like to talk to their neighbors every now and again. Might be once every 6 months, but, you know, if you run into somebody at the library, like, that's the whole point. You get your socialization. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's super orange over there. But, you know, anyway, here I am whining about our library. It's not like we can do anything about it. They're going to start a GoFundMe, or they're going to look into getting a GoFundMe. Maybe we can buy a small piece of property. So we're going to look into that. And they're going to call me and, you know, see what other ideas we can come up with. Okay, well, it's getting kind of cold out here. So peace, love, and happiness. May peace be with you always. Have a wonderful day, week, hour, minute, month, second, year. You know the schmill. Don't forget to rewind and be kind. Especially to yourself. Not just others. Be kind to yourself. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Look how pretty pink that is, the horizon. Oh, it's so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So pretty. I'm trying to find, I don't know where I should take a picture at, but anyway, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good day. Bye.